There it is. Now it's recording.
Yes, thank you.
I was recording, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, who's coming? Paula. Okay, let me put him in, and so let me go back to my Adobe Animate. Everybody in, cool, perfect. Now this.
Who's got Frank?
Right. So this is who's coming in? Okay, Sophia. Sophia still in? I don't know. Anyway, like this. Can you see my After Effects? Adobe Animate. Adobe Animate.
Yeah. Sophia.
Sophie. It says Sophie there.
Yeah, who's that?
Sophie, do you not remember her? I feel bad saying it in front of her now.
So
remember who she is?
You mean Suki?
Yeah,
That's
Suki.
That's
not her name, her actual name. I don't call her Suki, I call her Sophie.
Suki.
Yeah.
He's Rowan.
Okay.
So this is Adobe Animate, right? So remember we did that bouncing ball. Did we do the bouncing ball? I can't remember.
Yes, we did. We did.
So this is frame by frame. So this is quite good for sort of fluidity stuff. Actually, let me do it again. It's not remove frames. No, remove frames. Okay, so F6 create, and then F6 again. Move it, and make sure you have your onion skin option on, and then you can actually see this F6. So onion skin on, off. You can see it's moving, right? So
wait, I forgot what the onion skin does.
Huh?
The onion skin. I forgot what it does.
Yeah, it showed you previous screen. It showed you previous frame where the it's onion skin for positioning
so
stuff
long,
like
so I can't remember.
Layers. That's what they are.
Layers. Onions have layers.
onion skin layers.
Layers.
So Janica, so for each frame there's one image for each.
Yeah. So if you press F6 on your keyboard, it's gonna create a keyframe. So when you create a keyframe, you kind of like move the image to the down to the moving the image every time. So F6 is let's say if you have image in frame 15, and when if you want to have that same image in frame 16, you need to press F6 to copy that image on the frame 15 to frame 16.
Okay.
Right. So
at exactly the same place, you mean?
Yeah, you exactly the same place, and then if you wanna mimic the movement of the ball moving, and you need to move the position. So F6, I'm moving here, and F6, I'm moving here, and I'm gonna squash, demonstrating the squash here, like that. So if I play, see that? And then F6 again. So after squash, I'm gonna move my ball a bit further and expand. F6 again. F6 again. F6. Can you see I'm creating keyframes with my, can you see my timeline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got that shadow, that transparent effect is because of my onion skin on. Because onion skin, it's really good indicator to show you where your previous graphic is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And how
So-
long does a frame last? You define it yourself, I suppose.
you can have many frames as you want. There's an infinity amount of frames. There's now my ball is going like this at the moment. Okay, so I can have another animation alongside. Create a new frame. Who's coming in? Corey. Okay, cool.
Hey, Corey's here.
Hey.
Hey, I've always been here.
Okay, F6. Sorry. Let me just go to my brush. Increase my brush close. Increase my brush size.
Oh, no.
So F6. F6. Yeah, I have two now. Sorry, F6.
Oh, I just lost
F6.
health.
Okay, if I take the onion screen on, F6. 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 Yeah, something like that. Right, just to demonstrate. So if I wanted to bring this into After Effects, okay, let's have a look. So file save. Let me save that one first. Export to AF. File save. I'm gonna save that, and I'm gonna export as a movie. File export. File export. Export movie. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we're gonna be selecting SWF format on the drop-down list. SWF. That's and press save, and then go back to your After Effects. After Effects. Let's try to bring this.
Did you change your screen? Are you still in?
Oh, sorry. Yes, it happens.
You're testing us to see if we follow you.
Testing us.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I am.
Well,
We're here. We're here.
Wake.
Jesus.
All right. File import.
Oh.
File. Right click. File import. Desktop. Again, there's only one option, and it's going to create a composition here. File open, and there you go.
so file.
File. Right click. File import.
And you
Import file.
Yeah.
And then select the SWF file, which is you export from
Okay.
Adobe Animate, and press open. Soon
Okay.
as you press
So
open, it's going to
okay.
open up in inside After Effects.
Yeah.
And there you go.
So
So this this is my After Effects, and okay. Can I? What's your question? Sorry, Constant.
no, I don't really have a question. I'm
Okay.
just looking at the frame. I do have a question on the frame. I don't know how you call it, but you've got all the names of the files. Yeah, you've got character one. You know,
Yeah.
on the here.
Mhm.
I don't really understand how this works. It's all the files that you import and that are related to your general composition. Is
Okay,
that
good.
right?
Let me do another demonstration. That will explain to you properly, right? So I'm gonna go back to my. I'm gonna open up Illustrator.
It's more, you know, what I just want to understand is on your computer, you've got all your folders and everything. And so how does that relate to your computer? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Okay, all right.
You know,
So these folders, good question. So these folders, these are not folders, these are compositions inside After Effects, my projects. So my After Effects project called a Squarefish. Can you see it here? That's my Squarefish folder. It's called .aep. It's the After Effects project, right? Inside my After Effects project, here in my that's my folder. That's my folder, and that's my file. That's my file, and it's called AEP. AEP is a project file, which is our After Effects project file. Inside
Wait, did you make this one yourself, or
yes, I made myself. Yeah. So when you create a project folder, when you create After Effects project, you create all these compositions by yourself. There is no physical representation of these compositions in your computer here. You understand? You can only see your After Effects project. If you double click it, you can see all this, but there is no physical file sitting here.
Oh my God.
All right, let me demonstrate with the.
So what you're saying is that what we're looking at here is it takes all what's on the left, everything's, but you don't have one file with it.
No. Right. Let me quickly demonstrate something quite easily. Right. So let's imagine this is my first scene of the your storyboard. This is your first storyboard. You know the storyboard. You have 9 slides, right? So let's say this is your first scene. So you let's say save as storyboard. So scene 1, S1.
What are you doing just here? Because I
can you sorry,
what
you
do
cannot
you
see.
write that? Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Let me share again because I tend to forget the right. Okay, can you see me now?
Yeah.
Okay, this is your this is your first scene. For example, this is your you have like 6 or 7 storyboards. So this is the first scene. All my layers. In fact, I'm gonna save as
scene 1. Okay.
Yeah, scene one. Okay, save, done.
Okay,
right.
Understood.
And I am gonna save as another scene. It's called scene 2.
Okay.
Right. On the scene 2, I don't need this. I'm gonna have just the whale. I'm gonna save that. Right. I got scene 1 and scene 2. So on here, I don't need that. So I got 2 files, scene 1 and scene 2. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let me switch back into After Effects again. Here. And in my After Effects, I am gonna close this. I'm gonna start a new file, new project. Okay. So file new project. Can you see it or not? Files new project.
Okay, you're not closing the one you're just opening a new one. Okay.
New one. So I'm gonna save this. This is my new project, and I'm gonna save this new project. So I'm gonna save this new project. It's called into desktop, and I'm gonna storyboard my After Effects project. Okay, so this is your main project. So you save this. So that's your main project. So you have one composition already there, right? Now you see I don't have anything here, only one composition, one box, one timeline, one composition. Now, can you remember how many scenes I saved in Illustrator?
Two.
Two. Perfect. So if your storyboard is 20 files, if your storyboards consist of 15 different files, it has to be 15, correct? But do not put your storyboard in artboards.
Yes, lagging.
Low.
120 ping. You keep cutting out, Janeka.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut out in the last bit.
You cut out.
So you were saying you have two scenes.
Two scenes, yes. Right.
And so,
I'm going to import this file. Import. Can you see it? I'm importing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to my storyboard. I have a scene 1, and I'm going to go back to composition retain layer, and make sure you take this out. Illustrator PDF EPS sequence. We don't need that.
So
was it just for me that Janica cut out for a bit?
No, it is cutting out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's cutting out a bit.
Right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Cool. Right. So you select the first scene and create a composition and press open. And then I have a S1 composition, double click the S1 composition. Why this is black?
You have to change the color of the background.
Now it's okay. Now I have another scene, file import, scene 2, composition retain layer, double click it. Okay, so if you have 15, you need to import 15 separately, right? Now, this is my main composition, so I'm going to name this as a main composition. My main final movie, final comp, okay? This is where I put everything together. So you do your animation, you put your keyframes, whatever, and then you bring your animation onto all your compositions. So if you have 20, 15, it's going to be laid out on 20, 15, like here. So your first scene, drag and drop into the main scene. Right, so if you, let's say, if your first scene plays around 5 seconds or 10 seconds, let's say 10 seconds, and then you go to edit, split layer. You're splitting, cutting it half. Go on.
Hold on, can you just, I'm trying to write out at the same time. So you, scene 1, and then, so what did you do afterwards?
So scene 1, drag the scene 1 into main composition. Okay.
Yeah.
So you decide, you say, let's say, let me do the animation actually. Actually, you can actually see it. Let me just quickly do an animation. So you got this, and then you got this coming in. Okay, something like that. So this is, can you see this is only lasting how many seconds? Maybe 5 seconds, okay? 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5s. So I go to main, if I switch to main composition, my timeline is standing there. So I'm gonna chop that here, go to split layer. I'm gonna finish my, so that's my first scene. Okay, it's finished there. And I'm gonna drag my second scene to this composition, and I'm gonna drag my second scene to the left here. So when the first scene is finished playing, second scene comes to the scene. So this is the process you put everything together on your main timeline. Any questions? Do you understand what I did here?
But, I can't see the.
Could you do it again, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Can,
I'm still trying to figure out on Canvas. You sent. There's no in there. Did you
Empty.
add anything in, or? Yeah, I'm confused about that.
The thing in Canvas is empty.
Yeah.
So sorry, what are you talking about, Canvas? What?
You did send an invite on Canvas to join the professional development, but in course material, there's nothing in there. So I don't know if I'm supposed to join something or.
I don't know. Let's focus on this one first. Don't worry about Canvas now.
So far, it's just watching you, right?
Yeah, just watch me. The process. It's very important you to understand this, because you let's say you do your facial animation in after Adobe Animate. You can bring that into here.
Hello?
Just cough.
Froze.
Cough.
His face.
So I'm gonna bring my I'm gonna bring another file which is
Janica, you keep cutting out.
He's cutting out,
You
Janica.
cut out for like about 10 seconds just then.
We missed the whole sentence there, a whole paragraph.
I think there's something wrong with my internet, man. I need to fix
If you
it.
leave, would you be able to join back?
He's hosting, so
Yeah, no, I don't want it to be that he's locked out of the room then.
log Jenica out. We've taken over.
We're teaching us.
Oh my god.
Right.
Wait, so this you've just created?
no.
Uh-huh.
He imported. Janica
He
imported it from
Illustrator?
Animate. From Animate.
Animate.
Yeah. Animate.
Adobe
So
Animate.
remember I export. I did that export. So I'm gonna incorporate that into Animate. So like here, drag and drop in my Animate animation, and then I move. So I got this, and then this bit is Animate, Adobe Animate.
Okay, so just so can you show us how you split the layer again?
Okay.
Because I didn't see where
Yeah.
you found it on the
Splitting layer, edit, go to edit.
it's edit.
Yeah,
Okay.
split layer.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Lit layer.
Split, cut. That's how you split the, like when you cut your videos in Premiere, it's similar sort of split. So when you split the layer, anything onto your right hand side of the layer had to be deleted. You understand that?
Yeah.
So everything on the right hand side has to be
Deleted.
okay.
Yeah. So whatever you highlighted, whatever you want to have on your left hand side, that's the animation you want to have on your composition, to remain the same. But anything after right hand side, whatever you don't want, you can delete them. Right. So this is the process of you create a new project, you import Illustrator files, you import your SWF file, which is you created in Flash, and this is how you put together, right?
Okay.
And answer to your question, how we can export this once you've done everything. You have your audio, voiceover, you have your animation, you've done all your work, etc., etc., etc. So what is the final outcome? How we can export this? How we can submit this project? How we can upload this into Canvas or whatever, right? So this is what we need to do. We need to go, first of all, you go to, if you have Creative Cloud membership, you have to have this software installed. It's called Adobe Media Encoder. Can you see that? Can you see?
Well, did you leave After Effects? Are you somewhere else or?
Right.
They're in Creative Cloud, Media Encoder.
Okay, sorry, it's here. Application, Adobe Media Encoder. This is free to download if you own your Creative Cloud membership. You can download this free because this is a really good tool to compress your video without losing any quality. And you can upload into any social media platform, either YouTube or Facebook or Vimeo, without compromising the quality of the video. Otherwise, if you do a straight export from After Effects, it's gonna, the file size is gonna be huge, and then it's gonna be massive files. Okay, right. Let me go back to my.
Wait, one more question before you start.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've opened After Effects, but it says like some errors in it. Would that affect anything, or
Okay,
it's just like one error?
1 second. Can you share your screen for me, please?
Yeah. Oh, 1 second. Let me turn on.
You're
Just
right,
1
Tilly,
second. Let the
quiet
app
there.
open up.
Are you okay, Tilly?
Yeah, good.
You're quiet and listening, watching.
Yeah, can you see what it says?
System compatibility report.
Yeah, it's just
unsupported video drive. Can you press fix for me?
I had the same.
It's just taken to me to the
There's probably
manually install. All right, now I can fix this on my own then, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not.
Is it a laptop or desktop?
I'm using my laptop. I'll probably just use the desktop afterwards for it, because that's better then. But, I had the same problem. You have to do. It's not so easy to fix. But,
all right. Let me go back to
the PC I've got is better, so I'll probably use that.
Okay. Let me go back to my After Effects now. Now, let's continue. So if I have animation, for example, this is that. So I go to composition. Sorry, 1 second. No, not to composition at render queue. I'm gonna go to export, file, export, Adobe, add to Adobe Media Encoder. File, export, Adobe, add to Adobe Media Encoder.
export, add to
Adobe Media Encoder. Do you have an option for Adobe Media Encoder in your computers? Yes or no?
Never tried. Don't know.
No. Okay. Can you see an option here? Can you see? Do you have an option there?
Yeah.
You have it. You have it.
Probably.
Under export.
Just hold it. Yeah. Just hold on. I have to go back to After Effects.
Can you let me know, did you install Adobe Media Encoder? This is important because when you're exporting it, can you please open your After Effects? Can you please check that option for me now?
Export and add. Okay.
Add to Adobe Media Encoder.
Yeah, I have it.
Add to
Sorry, you got it.
Adobe Encoder Q. Yeah, that's right.
Fine. That's fine. Perfect. Cool. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, the Q, right?
Yeah, Q. Yeah.
Adobe Media Encoder. Yeah.
Does everybody have it?
Yeah, have it.
Nice one. Maria, you have it? Rohan, you have it?
I'm just going to open After Effects and
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Code
Check it.
already installed.
Check it. Right now, okay. Shall I continue now? Right.
Yeah.
Export. I'm gonna click Add to Media Encoder, and it's gonna open up Media Encoder in a minute. You'll see. They call it Swiss Army knife for video compression. Because it's got so many options, like it's gonna open up in a minute. Now, can you, probably I have to share the screen. I have to share the screen. Yeah, I have to share the screen, of course. Share the screen. Adobe Media Encoder. Share the screen. Okay, it's you see it's opening now. Is there a way we can completely test show once?
What?
Sorry.
I thought Janika started playing it.
Me.
Right. Can you see this, my screen?
I see it.
Okay, it's in a minute. It's gonna in few seconds time.
Mr. Roboto.
Janika, you're cutting out too much.
Creeper.
What did you say?
Janika,
Nothing.
I did not say nothing. I am.
Now he's just playing.
Oh,
Now he's just playing.
see my screen.
What?
Your screen's very zoomed in.
Very
my
zoomed
screen.
in.
It just says encoding and to add items to the queue. That's it.
Yeah, you have to wait.
And you've got breaking noises as well. Oh wait, never mind.
I think Janaka's broken.
Okay, can you see it came can you see it's just the blue letters? Can you see that here on the queue?
Nope, still great.
Here.
it's too zoomed in.
It's very zoomed in. Can you zoom out?
Zoomed in.
Yeah, it's literally zoomed in. Can you send images in the chat? I'll send it there then. Yeah, actually you can. Let me show you.
Zoomed in. What's that? What are you talking?
Wait, I'll show you what it looks like.
Are you gonna send it through a chat? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it in the chat. Just gonna take a screenshot of the page.
Fuck is this?
Desktop libraries. Huh?
Right. While you're sending that image to me, I want you to so is your
Yeah, I've sent the
Okay,
image.
perfect. Okay.
That's what your screen looked like.
Okay. Oh, I
Zoomed
see.
in by 100.
Oh, I see. Cool. All right, no problem. Let me share my screen again. Still zooming?
Yeah.
No, it's fine now.
That's fine now, yeah. Now
Yeah.
you see this is the queue. This is my file I add from our Adobe After Effects. Yeah, and you can this is
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
is breaking up again.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I received. Actually, I need to contact my Now TV guy to come and have a look. Something wrong with my bloody.
Can you see?
Janica,
Yeah.
maybe later after you finish this lesson.
No, not now, not now, not now. Of course.
Yeah, I'm saying after, press the restart pin in your hub.
Okay, I'll do that.
And that will send a little signal down.
Or open your internet channel and put your priority up.
Okay, you can do that. Okay.
You've got all types of people here.
Well, don't worry, we're your IT guys.
We all got you.
All right. Okay. Right. So when you have that, so you got H.264 is a really good compression format, and so when you start queue, when you press start queue, it's gonna export your image. It's gonna export your movie now, and as an MP4, not MP4, not MOV, MP4, and it's really good file format for social media stuff, and and so it's gonna happen. It won't take long.
4K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save it 4K.
Yeah. You can export 4K. I mean the file size is relatively lower. So.
Wait, are we allowed to upload 4K video onto Canvas? Because there's a 100 megabyte limit.
How are you going to put 4K videos onto Canvas?
I was thinking, how are you going to submit?
Can I just know how you're going to do that?
I mean, Canvas have very limited storage, so
yeah, I think it's 100 megabytes, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't upload stuff like that because it's going to crash the whole bloody
Technically,
system.
on our student email for Google Drive, we've got unlimited storage on that. So you could upload it there.
10-hour upload on a 4K 1 minute video.
So this is your MP4. Okay, I have to share my screen again. Everything. So this is the MP4 movie you exported. Obviously, you can see my image is background is black because I didn't change my background color to white. So go back to After Effects. One second.
Frozen again.
All right. Now, what you need to do is
frozen.
What you need to do is you need to finish your storyboard by next week. Okay.
Yeah, that's calm.
So you need to finish your storyboard. If you can create all your digital files by next week, and then we can straight into animation. Then we will get into this project and we can be able to finish it quickly.
Yes, let's do it.
So if you have any questions, if you need to ask me. I mean, I will help you. If you're struggling with animation, email me your illustration with layers intact. Okay. So not just the one single layer with many objects. So if you want to animate certain things of the character, you've got to put them in layers. I will go through with more character animation, walk cycles. I will be focusing on most walk cycle. And walk cycles are one of the most difficult things to master. And if walking character into a scene or walking out or picking some stuff up or whatever, but it all depends on, you don't have to have a walk cycle. It all depends on your storyboard. You know, sometimes you don't have to have a character. Sometimes you don't have to have a walk cycle in it. But as long as you explain your idea in a different form, or maybe with a simple graphic, fine. But if you can have character walking, which is great for your portfolio, and then whoever look at your work, they know you've gone through this process to understand to make things happen. So it's a plus sign for you in the future. You know what I mean? So it's more work, but it's good. Bear with me a second. I wanted to show you something.
And just one last question, Janaka. Do we have only this one project for the term?
Yeah. I mean,
we have others.
This is 2
terms. Is it just this we're focusing on?
For me, it's 2 terms.
Okay, so it's the only one. This is the only project we will have.
It's with me, yes. Yeah, it's with me, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just this we're gonna do for what is it? 10 weeks? Yeah, 10 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for 10 weeks, we're just gonna be working on our how many minutes? It was 1 minute.
1 minute. Explain a video.
Yeah. Just the storyboard for our.
It took me 6 hours to do a 4-second animation.
Okay, there you go. Exactly.
I was doing my walking cycle. It took me 6 hours to do.
Exactly, that's my point. Because the more time you spend on, you need to spend more time on animation than creating graphics. You understand what I'm saying? Because it eats time on animation. Animation is hard. Animation takes longer. So what happened was my previous lessons, previous modules, previous years, they actually took more time to idea generation and more time to create graphics. And then at the end of term 2, they couldn't manage to finish their project because they didn't have enough time to animate. So they actually gave a less priority to animate. If I were you, I would create graphics soon as possible, get my ideas together, finalize, done.
Yeah.
Do your graphics in Illustrator, do your graphics in, if you don't want to use Illustrator, you can actually create the whole graphics in After Effects, as I showed you last time. I mean, I will show you again.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to focus on After Effects, that's fine. You go and do the animation in Adobe Animate.
Yeah.
And do your animation first. Get into your animation soon as possible. Because when you go into animation soon as possible, you will overcome. There are certain obstacles you need to do. Hey, Janaka, how this is not working? The speed is not working. Speed is not there. You know, the keyframes are missing. There are so many other technical issues comes with animation. So you need to be aware, and you need to be able to solve those issues in that time. So my advice would be, you have enough time generating ideas, you have enough time at digital graphics, get into animation by next week, and show me something, and then I will help you along the way. Okay.
Yeah. So I can say that doing my artboards on Illustrator really helped me, because then you start thinking of how you're going to animate them.
Absolutely.
So it's really
if you can email me your file.
I did do some work on Illustrator, but it wasn't related to the topic.
I will help you to animate. It's not a problem.
And the other thing I would say, which seems important, is be careful to the layers.
Yes.
So that you input them correctly into After Effects.
So layers is very important, and just give me a second.
But I mean, that's
okay. Can I show you because I'm showing you this particular? Okay. Can you see this this animation?
Yeah.
So the same method, I have a intro one. So on the intro one, I got character 2 composition, intro 2 composition, S1 composition. So the S1 composition is this, the city, and the intro 2 is this. Is going out animation, and then the other one is character. This is my character. Okay, so the same exercise I showed you before. I have one composition, I got many compositions inside, and I put everything in here like that. So the way I create the character, for example here, I didn't use Illustrator. I create everything inside After Effects shape layers, like that. For example, I use my pen tool. I just create that shapes like that, and then I manipulate. They are all shape layers. See that?
So yeah, Janaka, if you do that, then you have to save it into the composition that's related. You create a file, or I'm just trying to understand the architecture of the whole thing.
So this I don't use Illustrator. I actually create the graphics inside After Effects, right? So there are two ways to do it. If you prefer, if you are comfortable with using Illustrator with the pen tool, you can actually do that. You don't have to do it much. But I prefer, me personally, creating graphics in Illustrator because personally I prefer to create the graphics in After Effects because the pen tool in After Effects is exactly the same as in Illustrator. So I kind of like cut down just a workflow of Illustrator. So I don't have to use Illustrator. I just use After Effects to create my graphics inside. So it's up to you. You don't. It's the personal preference. Okay. So this is so I got. Let me.
Oh, I have
this character question. Is created in Illustrator. Let me just go back and find something.
The 1-to-1 that we got, what does that mean?
So 1-to-1 means if you did you receive an email?
Yeah. If you need help, you just contact them.
Is it for help? Or does everyone have to do it?
I think you need to just give me a second. Let me get my email up.
I don't think it's compulsory.
I don't know if
it is not compulsory, but if you need help, you can actually book us 42 hours advance or something, and then
48 hours prior.
48 hours, and 48 hours advance, and then we can on Thursdays.
So it's not compulsory, but it's
no.
Like, is it just one of those where it's like, if I want to show you my work and how it's going, if I want to get it approved by you?
Exactly, or if you need any help with After Effects 1-to-1, I will be available to show you.
Janaka?
Yeah.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, just give me a second. Let me stop sharing. Okay, go on. I'm here.
So I imported my Illustrator file in After Effects. And I wanted to add some rectangle in my composition, but it's always creating mask. With the paint tool or with a brush tool, it always creates a mask.
Right. Okay. Hold on. Let me show you. Good question. Let me show you what happens there. So composition, new composition, blank composition. Everybody can see that. Yeah.
Yep.
And now, so when you click the rectangular tool, right? And then I create my rectangular, but can you see here, when you click the rectangular, there are two options. One is for creating a shape, one is for creating a mask. Right. Okay. Now let me do that again. So rectangular tool. When you create something, it's automatically on default. It's creating a shape. Right. Now, if I decided to, let's say I'm going to add another rectangle. Right. Now, if you accidentally select your layer like this, and then you go and select your second layer, second one, and then if you have your mask on, and it's going to create a mask. You understand that?
Yeah.
Or not? No?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I understand that.
Now, if you wanted to have two rectangles, you need to come out, you need to click out, and then go and have two rectangles. So I got two layers in it. So this is how you add stuff, right? So if you want to have another graphic,
I've done it.
You got
Finally.
It. Good. Now, how do you change this pivot point? How do you make this pivot point to the center?
Wasn't it from the thing over there in between the circle shape and that camera shape?
Yeah, but how do you do it automatically? How do you put that into center?
Oh, I don't remember the...
Okay. Here, under layer, transform center anchor point in layer content. That layer, transform center anchor point in layer content. Here, select your image. So at the moment, my anchor point is here, this image. Layer, transform, center anchor point to the layer content. So you can actually do it. If not, you can actually manually change it with this.
Go ahead.
Any questions would you like to ask? Anything related to anything?
Hey.
So Jenica, for next lesson, you want us to have our characters animated and the storyboard completed.
How much do you
No.
That's a lot to us.
Yo, I'm already crying for 4 seconds of animation.
I want you to take it.
Imagine how long we'll be
working. 1 minute.
Corey, careful.
Just 1 minute.
I want you to take a deep breath, have a really good smoke, and just chill.
Yeah.
Too bad I don't do that.
Yeah. No rush.
Oh my god, my face.
Take your time. I want you to show me your storyboards.
Onions have layers.
Storyboards.
I can just see Rowan looking at my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Storyboards we need, and is it just like, do you want us to animate it?
As in like,
or just finish our storyboard?
Finish your storyboard.
Okay.
But
okay, cool.
Not only storyboard, you need to make sure that storyboard is being digitally created. You understand that?
So you need to illustrate your storyboard.
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm on the same page as everyone now.
Okay.
Don't worry about the script. Yet, let's focus on animation. Let's get this animation done.
Okay. Let's illustrate storyboard. And
oh my god, there's 5 minutes left?
Cool.
Well, 4 minutes.
Time goes fast.
I didn't see the time.
I remember.
Wait, do we still have the
Tuesday
1 to 2 hour break?
Well, you remember every Tuesday morning I had to rush in my class. Remember that?
Yeah.
Somebody's coming, knocking the door. Okay, are you finished? Are you finished? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was geography students. I can.
Yeah, and there was Monica came the other day and asked me, what time you finish? Oh, 1 o'clock. And
wait, did you still have to go back to the classes when we all were off? When the break happened? Like the last week? Yeah, once the lockdown had been.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm not sure how it's gonna pan out.
Did you go to the building?
Yeah, did you go to the building the week?
No. It's closed.
No, not now, as in before.
No. I didn't go. All right. Any questions before we go? Is everybody clear what we are doing?
Yeah.
So it's basically we have to get storyboards done for next week.
Yeah. Just give me a second.
So what is that? What are they doing in the background? Jesus Christ.
It's my lights. It's the room lights. I need to change the color in order for
my God.
What is that? Janaka. It's you know the walking cycle?
Yeah. Yeah.
How long do you think it's best to happen?
Look,
I currently have it for like 5 seconds.
No, look, I cannot answer you because I need to see the structure of the storyboard. Then I can actually give you advice on the timing. Do you understand? I need to see the whole story. Then it might related that the walk cycle. It's important, maybe not important to that particular scene. Do you understand? It's about the whole overall picture. How you explain in the story. So I need to see your storyboards. Then I can.
I mean, can I cheat? Because once I do a complete walk cycle, I could just copy and paste that, can't I?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
Yeah, so I could just make a 1 minute copy. Alright, awesome. I could just make a 1 minute walking cycle.
Your whole explainer video is not about somebody's walking, right?
Well, it can be.
The whole 1 minute he's just walking.
I'm just walking. I'm gonna change it to traveling now.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think.
So I actually record two part of this video. I will retransfer.
Yeah, no, he didn't hear you. Yeah, how would you send it to us?
WeTransfer. You need to download it.
WeTransfer. Can you just raw file and then?
Huh?
If you could upload it as a raw folder, and then you could just put it in Canvas, and we could just download it from Canvas.
Okay. I'll try that as well.
Yeah, but I don't know if everyone knows how to convert the.
Yeah.
Raw. You just have to right click and compress. Yeah. It's on every Mac or Windows.
WeTransfer, yeah.
We're not saying you would.
Upload it to YouTube. We'll watch it then. I'll subscribe.
So,
upload it to YouTube. Make it
guys. I will see you next week. But make sure you do your work and you're not going anywhere anyway. So.
I'm sorry, I'm quarantined to my bedroom. I can't leave.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not moving from my bed as well. Don't worry.
You have another class with John Philip this afternoon, right? 2 o'clock?
Yeah.
Danica?
Yeah.
I haven't had much time to check this this application or this software, but I put it inside the group chat. It's something that I found, and it's like storyboarding. I put it in the group chat. If you can check it, see if it's any good. But I haven't had a chance to check it properly. But it's something that I stumbled upon, I should say.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have a look. Is it about After Effects?
No. It's a digital storyboard.
Aha. Okay.
But it's meant to be quite new. Well, maybe it might have been around for a little while. I'm not sure. I'll just put it inside.
My storyboard. If I do it all on paper, can I just like scan it and show it on the computer then? If you ask next week to see.
Yeah. You can scan it and show me, and then for you, I think because of your style of illustrations, I would say you need to stick to Adobe Animate, because you can actually.
For my work.
Yeah. Because kind of like organic shapes. It's not so much straight lines. So do you know what I mean? You can actually do like frame by frame animation, but get your what I want you to do is I want you to not only the paper. I want you to create the graphics in bring that image into Adobe Animate with the.
I'll work on it this week.
Yeah, brush tool or pen tool. Start creating the graphics, and then I will show you how to animate it.
Ready, so I'll just create those on Animate. See how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
If it works out well, then I'll continue with the story.
Exactly. Okay.
Yep.
All right, guys. Have a nice evening, and
you too.
I'll catch you next week.
You too.
Does anyone else want to say it? Corey?
You too.
Bye.
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 Bye, guys.
Please subscribe.
Yeah. Please subscribe. Yes, you're right.
Please subscribe. 1v1 me on Russ.
Yeah. Put some comments.
See you later, everyone.
Comments much appreciated.